So basically, I was just skating all the time, and dude, no one in my city skated really. Like where I was from in the suburb, there was no one skating. There was one other dude I skated with, and he was just my homie. And but it was really just kind of me skating in my backyard, and my dad knew that I was really into it. So he was just like filming tricks of me skating in the backyard, and like he like would put together footage. I think the first thing we ever put together, I was 8 years old, and it was like a 2-minute clip and like just some terrible rock song. I can't even remember what song it was, but it was just like edited poorly with like super long slow-mos and shit. He didn't know like how it worked or anything, but he just knew that I loved skateboarding, and he was just trying to support me how he could. And so he ended up like, he asked me what all the companies that I was hyped on, and then he went online and like searched up their address and just like made the VHS tapes and was just mailing them out to the States, like Hail Mary style, like no idea where this shit was going. I ended up getting an email response, I think, from this dude named Mark Waters. And so he worked at Soul Technology, and he was just kind of like took interest or whatever. And so he started talking to my dad. And then after talking to him for a while, when I was 10, he put me on. And so yeah, I got like my first box of shoes from S. I was tripping, dude. Like this young kid, never met a pro skater in my life. Like the dream was just to meet one in the person in the flesh. They were like this god. And then all of a sudden a huge box just showed up, and I was like, what the hell, this is crazy. And then Tony Hawk and the Birdhouse team were doing a tour through Canada, and they came through Kamloops and skated at our park. And Tony Hawk told the local news that it was the worst skate park he'd ever skated. That ended up being the thing to motivate the city, and they're like, all right, we're gonna put money into it. And so, yeah, pretty much thanks, Tony. Yeah, I don't know if you know that, but it's fucking tight, because it really helped with everything moving forward, because it went from like having bullshit ramps built in my backyard and skating like the worst park to all of a sudden, you know, they built this really good park that I could skate and just spend my days at in Kamloops. So we're filming at the park, putting together random footage. And at the time, I was really, really hyped on Almost Skateboards, because Chris Haslam, you know, he was one of my favorites in Day One Song. And yeah, I ended up sending out a tape and didn't hear anything. And then I was skating in my backyard one day, and I can't even remember how old I was. I think I was 11. And dude, I like middle session, my mom comes outside on the phone, and she's like, hey, like, Matt, you're never gonna believe who's on the phone for you right now. I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, it's Rodney Mullen. And I'm 11 years old. Never met a pro in my fucking life. And Rodney Mullen was on the home phone. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I answered it, and I like couldn't even speak, dude. I was like tripping out. And then like Rodney was just, you know, he's like, I saw your tape, you sent it to Dwindle, and like I ended up watching it, and like I'm really stoked. I can see, I don't know, I can't even remember exactly what he said. It was almost like I knew he was speaking to me, but I was in such shock that I couldn't even like listen to what he was saying. It was insane. Even though I was talking to him the whole year and he told me that he put me on Almost, I wasn't getting any product. So I was like, I'm there, but I'm not fucking there, dude. Like it was crazy. And so do you remember the contest Slam City Jam? So that was like the yearly big trip for me. And I was just hoping that I would see Rodney there. It was basically, he was on like the pro side of the course. So you need the wristband to get in, and I'd like barge through all these people to get to the fence who were trying to sign autographs or get their autographs from Rodney. And I was like, hey, Rodney, it's me, kind of thing, like, hey. And he was like, oh shit, Matt. And then we ended up talking for a bit, and he asked me if I got boards or whatever, and I was like, dude, no, I didn't get any boards, but like, thank you, it's so rad to meet you in person. And I was just like, of course, beyond starstruck again. And so then after that, I actually started getting boards, and I got my first box, and it was, he put me on Almost in Tensor Trucks, and I remember it exactly, it was 5 blue Day One Song boards, and then 2 pairs of black Tensor Trucks, and it just like showed up in my hometown. I was tripping. And so, yeah, then I rode for Almost for like 8 years.
That was fun.